Yesterday, at the end of men's group, I was thinking about a particular passage, and it comes from Ecclesiastes. And Ecclesiastes is a very interesting book in the Bible. You know, if you were just reading the Bible for the first time and you picked it up and you opened that book, you might think, wow, this is like a book of, only just a book of religion here. Um, you know, it talks about, how we go through every day, we go through toil, we work and work and work. We're on that hamster treadmill. Seems like life is just futile. We give it our all. We're taken advantage of. We, we obtain wealth, and then we die, and it just goes to somebody that never deserved it. Life is futile, it seems, if that's all you get out of it. If you think about the toils in your own life and the struggles you have. But the part that they're missing, if you're just looking at this without reading the whole story, without capturing it all, is that God is in charge. It's not us. We're not God. We don't establish uh, everything. God, we are in situations that we need to know that God is in charge of. We take advantage of those situations for the glory of God, knowing that He's working things out. Um, we're talking about the idea of friendship as a healer of people, and also as a preventative from getting a lot of anxiety, a lot of mental stress by having friends. It does talk about that, and I don't want to dwell on that today. It was interesting as I was working on this teaching last night about friendship and having a cord of three strands about how strong that relationship is then because you're not alone. God never created us to be alone. That's why He gave us a spouse. That's why He gave us a body of believers to come to assemble in. Never meant for us to be alone because it's not healthy. And so, anyways, I'm thinking about this teaching. I get a message on the phone when I'm looking up different passages, and it says, "David, please call me. I need prayer." I'm thinking, oh, this is like really apropos here. And so, I called and I prayed with somebody through a lot of different difficulties that they were having, and I thought, wow, this is such a God thing. And so I'd like to take a look at that. Today has been kind of a crazy day too, and you know, I'm in there, just kind of finally getting everything done. And oh, what I'm just a little stuck. Um, and Randy says we should get going, and I said, we've got plenty of time. I look at my watch and it says, it's only 8 o'clock. Like, oh, like we gotta go now. We gotta go now. I'm gonna be an hour late. So anyway, so and that gets into that utility part. If that's all you dwell on, but I think if we consider the Proverbs too, that laughter is good medicine. Life is very short, and if all we do is we focus on our oppression, all we focus on is working and working and working like a dog, getting to bed late, getting up early, and doing the repeat, then what's it all worth? But God is there. God gives us uh, the spirit of knowing that everything will be okay, that He's in charge. We're not, and there's a comfort in that. And I think He gives us laughter to sometimes look at how we in the natural materialistic world, if you will, look at. So let's take a look at. We're going to look at Ecclesiastes 4, and we're going to be looking um, at verses 7 through 12. I don't know why I keep doing this. Okay. Again, I saw something meaningless under the sun. And the whole the whole chapter is talking about things that are meaningless in life. Meaningless, meaningless. In fact, that's how we get into the whole book. Um, there was a man all alone. He had neither son nor brothers. There was no end to his toil. Yet his eyes were not content with his wealth. For who am I toiling, he asked, and why am I depriving myself of enjoyment? This too is meaningless, a miserable business. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either one of them falls down, one can pick the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? If you have a dog. Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. So, the Lord's telling us how we need each other. We need that corporate body. We need close friends. When it says that, and then it finishes with a cord of three strands is not easily broken, and that's the key verse here that I forgot to mention. Cord of three strands is not easily broken. In other words, you just have one strand of rope, let's say. It's not going to stretch as far as if two others are twisted around it. And that second strand represents a friend or friends. The third strand represents what? Represents God, a relationship with God. And so when those three are together, there's more stretch to that rope, there's more strength to that rope, there's more resilience to that rope. Because that rope has, it has all the goodness that supports us in life. I would encourage you to invest in friendships with one another, to invest in friendships where you can lift up each other with people that can sometimes lift you up, that when they're in need, that you can give to them. When they're in need, they can take from you your help. And that two together are stronger than one. This is good help. This is good advice. It comes from the best advice given. Thank you.